Your brain is the most energy-hungry organ in your body. Even though it makes up only about 2% of your total body weight, it consumes nearly 20% of the energy you produce every single day. That means, in a very real and measurable way, your brain is directly built from what you eat. Every meal you have is either supporting your memory, your focus, your emotional stability, or quietly working against it. And the problem is, a lot of the most common foods in modern diets aren't just neutral, they're actively accelerating brain aging. Not in a dramatic, overnight way, but slowly, consistently, in ways that add up over years. What makes it worse is that most people consume these foods daily without realizing the long-term impact they're having. Take refined vegetable oils. These include corn oil, soybean oil, sunflower oil, and canola oil, ingredients that show up in everything from packaged snacks to restaurant meals. On the surface, they're marketed as heart-healthy alternatives, but when you look deeper, the story becomes more complicated. These oils are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, particularly something called linoleic acid. Your brain relies heavily on fats to function properly, especially omega-3 fatty acids, which are critical for maintaining the structure and flexibility of brain cell membranes. But here's where the imbalance happens. Omega-6 and omega-3 fats compete with each other inside your body. When your diet is overloaded with omega-6, it pushes out omega-3, disrupting that balance. Over time, this imbalance affects how your neurons communicate. Signals become less efficient, inflammation increases, and that low-level chronic inflammation is one of the key drivers behind cognitive decline, mood disorders, and even neurodegenerative conditions. It doesn't feel dramatic in the moment, but it's constantly shaping how your brain performs. Then there are refined carbohydrates: white bread, white rice, pastries, and sugary snacks. These foods digest quickly, causing rapid spikes in blood sugar. And while your body has systems in place to handle those spikes in most tissues, your brain is far more vulnerable. Repeated glucose spikes trigger a process called glycation. This is where sugar molecules bind to proteins in your brain, damaging them and making them less flexible. Over time, this reduces your brain's ability to adapt, learn, and store new information. What makes this even more concerning is how closely this process is linked to Alzheimer's disease. In fact, some researchers now refer to Alzheimer's informally as type 3 diabetes because of how strongly it's connected to insulin resistance in the brain. Every spike in blood sugar isn't just a short-term energy surge, it's a long-term cost your brain has to pay. Next comes processed meat, things like deli slices, sausages, hot dogs, and packaged meats. These foods often contain nitrates and compounds known as advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These compounds are especially harmful because they directly promote inflammation in brain tissue. Over time, this neuroinflammation interferes with communication between brain cells and contributes to the buildup of damage that's often seen in people with cognitive impairment. It's not just about physical health, it's about how clearly you can think, how well you can remember, and how stable your mood remains. Artificial sweeteners are another hidden factor. Many people turn to them as a healthier alternative to sugar, but research suggests they can disrupt the connection between your gut and your brain, something known as the gut-brain axis. This connection plays a major role in producing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which directly affect mood, focus, and mental clarity. When that system is disrupted, the effects aren't always obvious at first. But over time, it can lead to changes in how you feel, how you think, and how well your brain processes information. Then there's margarine and foods containing partially hydrogenated oils. These are sources of trans fats, which are particularly damaging because they interfere with the structure of brain cells. Your brain cells rely on flexible, healthy membranes to send and receive signals efficiently. Trans fats make those membranes more rigid, slowing down communication and increasing the risk of long-term damage. Alcohol is another factor that's often underestimated. While occasional moderate consumption may not have a significant impact, regular intake beyond small amounts starts to show measurable effects on the brain. One of the most affected areas is the hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for forming and storing memories. Over time, consistent alcohol consumption can actually shrink this region, reducing memory capacity and making it harder to retain new information.
Again, this doesn't happen overnight. It's gradual, almost invisible until the effects become noticeable. And finally, ultra processed snack foods, chips, packaged sweets, instant meals. These products are designed to be addictive, convenient, and long lasting, but they come at a cost. They're often high in sodium, artificial flavors, and preservatives, while lacking the nutrients your brain actually needs. More importantly, they negatively impact your gut microbiome. Your gut is home to trillions of bacteria that play a critical role in producing neurotransmitters. When you consistently eat ultra processed foods, you reduce the diversity of these bacteria, which in turn affects your brain's chemistry. That means your diet isn't just influencing your physical health, it's directly shaping your mood, your motivation, and your mental clarity on a daily basis. What makes all of this powerful is not just the damage these foods can cause, but how preventable it is, because the opposite is also true. Just as certain foods accelerate brain aging, others actively protect and support it. Oily fish like salmon and sardines provide the omega-3 fats your brain depends on. Leafy greens supply antioxidants that reduce inflammation. Berries contain compounds that protect brain cells from damage. Nuts offer healthy fats and vitamin E, which supports cognitive function. Olive oil provides stable, beneficial fats that help maintain cell integrity. And eggs supply choline, a nutrient essential for memory and learning. This isn't about perfection. It's not about eliminating everything overnight. It's about awareness. Understanding that the choices you make every day are shaping your brain in ways you may not feel immediately, but will absolutely experience over time. Because your brain isn't just something you use, it's something you build every single day with what you choose to eat. And the difference between a sharp, focused mind and one that struggles with memory, clarity, and energy often comes down to those quiet, consistent choices, the ones that seem small in the moment, but define how you think, feel, and function for years to come.